Good morning for some, I guess, if you're still rising, good afternoon. For those who have joined us via Zoom and also in person, this meeting has been officially called to order. And we are so grateful for being here. We are grateful for the guest speaker that we will have. I'm ecstatic about what his presentation is going to be all about. And for, I'm your MC, Samita Ferguson, and I love to start off with a quote. In life, mindset is everything. And this is coming from our guest speaker's LinkedIn page. So step out of the habit of letting negativity rule your thoughts and emotions. Make room for positivity. Create a positive mindset that will help you to accomplish your dreams. Your mindset makes up 99% of the game. 1, turn your thoughts into feelings. 2, feelings into actions. 3, use your why to keep going. Visualize, close your eyes, and think about your why. If you lose your drive, the only way to keep yourself motivated is to think about your goals and what your life will look like as soon as you accomplish them. So today, for those who are hoping to navigate higher learning like college, university, perhaps it's been a long time dream and you are just turning 50 and you are not like the 16 or the 18-year-old who wants to embark right away into that arena. Whatever age or dynamics, it is your mindset that will aid you in accomplishing your desired pathway. So this is going to be an exciting meeting for all those who are tuned in and who wants to navigate their way towards college preparedness. We're going to pray because prayer works, and sometimes we need to call on the Master to help us when we are pursuing those kind of dreams and goals. So let us all bow for our Rotary grace. Our Rotary grace. Oh God. Our Rotary grace, oh God, the creator and sustainer of all that is or will be. Accept our thanks for this day and our many blessings. We ask that you guide and direct our clubs, the leaders and members, and our actions. Grant that each of us may feel our responsibility to Rotary, to our community, to our country, and indeed to all countries and peoples. Bless our fellowship today, and may we ever be mindful of opportunities to render our service, concentrating our efforts in areas on which future generations can build with confidence. And now let us raise our glass for our loyal toast. Toast to the Queen and to the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
To the Queen and to the Commonwealth.
Coming now to welcome us is, I call him a debonair, most ecstatic, handsome, and he's saying yes, y'all. My God, if you could only feel, you may be seated, thank you. If you can only feel the energy in this room, the synergy for some of us like myself, it's the first time I'm seeing you all from last year. Oh my God, Patricia, your smile is so beautiful, and they could only see your golden teeth from here. And Lana, it's finally a privilege to see you, not on Zoom, but in person. I always say you're so stately. And this is that Joan over there who I call the Queen of Rotary. And Senator Max, oh my Lord, and Sheila, who is running the ham. You all need to be in the house. Is that Sam Boodle over there? Who, I call him the historian of Rotary. Listen here, this is the place to be. Jonathan, you look so good sitting right next to Patricia. And oh my God. And Owen receives the prize for being the first Rotarian here. But it's not my place to welcome you. We're going to give a hand clap, or you need to tap your tables, and let us call now our Sergeant at Arms Rotarian Wayne to do his thing. Let's welcome Rotarian Wayne.
You could do better than that. Let's make that warm and pleasant. Wow. We are so grateful. So much, Madam Chair. What a wonderful introduction and greeting. Yes, we want to, Mr. President, inadvertently, or we're moving so fast, we're so excited to be here in person. We'd like to give you an opportunity to just say your normal welcome and introduction. So,
All
Mr.
right.
President.
Good day, fellow Rotarians and guests. A pleasant welcome to this our final weekly meeting for the month of May 2022. A special welcome also to our guest speaker today. Has he shown up as yet? Mr. Nathaniel Butler. He's
Yes.
the executive director of Creative Wealth Bahamas, and his topic today is college preparedness as we close out our youth service month this month, May 2022. Back over to you, MC Samita. Oh, sorry, Sergeant at Arms.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. President, for those warm words of welcome. And again, let me also welcome you here to our meeting. What a wonderful day. I mean, how many of you enjoyed the rain last night? How many of you thought the rain was going to never stop?
This morning.
I tell you,
This
even
morning,
this morning.
Yes.
How many of
Streets
you
are
had to
flooded.
wade your way through the water out east?
My Lord.
I mean, God, I was going to tell you, man. Last week it was west. I mean, they said out east was laughing at west.
Oh, that's
Now you
right.
see what happened? Out east and west is laughing at us. I tell you that. Nature has done it to us here in Nassau. And no one get away. Surprisingly, I think Bay Street got away. Because when I drove down Bay Street, there was no water.
Bay Street was good.
A Bay Street got twice.
Yeah.
Okay, be careful, Bay Street. Be careful, Bay Street.
They come
You
in,
might
they
get,
come
you,
in,
you might
they
get
come
twice the blessing. But yeah, so good. And look like it's going to call for showers of blessing all this week and remaining week. But nonetheless, we're here. The sun is shining. And those of us who are here, I'm quite sure we are just happy to be in person. And we also want to welcome you who are there, wherever you are in your rightful place of work. And we're glad that you're able to join us as well. Now, we like to start with something humorous to break the ice, so to speak, and to give it a little lighter moment to this occasion. So I in my searching, I came across this one. It's the devil in details. That's what this one is. The devil's in details. It says, a guy dies and went to hell. And at the gate, he meets Satan. Satan shows him the door to 3 rooms and said that he must choose one to stay in for eternity. In the first room, he saw people standing in dirt up to their necks. The guy says, no, I don't want that. Let me see what in the next room. In the second room, he saw people standing in dirt up to their noses. The guy says, no, I don't want that one. Finally, Satan opened the third door. And in the room, he saw people standing in dirt just up to their knees. They were drinking coffee and eating pastries. The guy said, aha, this is the room I will pick. Satan says, okay then. And the guy went in and he started to have his coffee and he started to eat his pastries. Just as he was about to relax, Satan said, okay guys, coffee break over. Everybody back on your heads.
Okay. That one coming there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
You'll get it. You'll understand.
All right.
Don't trust that man. So. Okay, what about this one? You heard this one before, but let's say it again. 2 campers are walking through the woods when a huge brown bear suddenly appears in the clearing, about 50 feet away from them. The bear sees the campers and begins to head towards them. The first guy, he drops his backpack, takes out a pair of sneakers, and frantically begins to put them on. The second guy says, what are you doing? Sneakers won't help you outrun the bear. The guy says, no, I know it wouldn't help me outrun the bear, but it helped me outrun you. Stay ahead of the pack, ladies and gentlemen. Good. I tell you that. It's always a pleasure to be here, man. Always a pleasure to share a light moment with colleagues and friends. And you know what, the work we do in Rotary is so serious, eh? And we help so many people. And I just want to say kudos to all of my Rotarians here and there for joining us. And now we want to hear from you. Do we have any Rotarians on the call now who wish to just chime in and say hi to us? Any Rotarians on the call? Fellow Rotarians from other visiting clubs? Sheila, Madam Sheila, you're navigating. Do you see any visiting Rotarians?
Good afternoon, everyone. Charlene Kearney, Rotary Club of New Providence. Pleasure to be here with you all today.
Okay, glad to have you here, Rotary Club of New Providence. We are so happy that you are here and joining us here, the Rotary Club of Nassau. Do give our regards. Thank you so much for joining us. Do we have any other visitors on the call? Okay. If you have
Hi,
no other
everyone.
Yes.
Shelby here.
Hi, Shelby. We're getting to you. We see your lovely, beautiful face. And Chantel can't help but remind us always when you are on the call. Thank you so much. And Chantel is just waiting for the right moment when she can rope you in. And
Yes.
you'll be finally be with us. But we love all this.
Absolutely.
Love all this stuff.
Yes, I also have a visitor again, and we're roping her in too.
Yes.
Debbie Thompson.
Okay, good. Open up your mic. Open your mic. Yes.
Good afternoon, Deborah Thompson here. So good to be here.
Okay, it's always a pleasure to have you in. Always a pleasure to have you in. And you are just about there. You are just about there. One more step, and I think we have
Amen.
you. Thank you so much. Amen. Be glad to have you, man. Feel welcome. Feel welcome. Are there any other visitors on the call? If there be no other visitors, let's get to the business at hand now. Do we all have our pins? Do we all have our pins? I see some Rotarians in the house who may not have their pins. Please raise your hands. Okay. I only make the passion is good for soul. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we love you, gift. We love you, I love gift. Thank you so much. But if there be no further, I want to say thank you, and welcome. Madam Chair, please.
Thank you so much. Did he do a good job? Let's give him a hand clap. I have a confession. I will pay my dues. I figured that my Rotarian mask could work. Can this work? No. Okay, well, I'll pay my dues. We thank Wayne for always lightening up the moment. We're going to now call on President Mike, who will bring further remarks and announcements, but just 2 announcements prior to him coming back on to speak. Let's be reminded that the changeover will be taking place on June the 28th, right here at the Nassau Yacht Club, NYC. Sheila says it's going to be on the patio. I'm sure we're going to not have any rain. Last time when I was here, oh, we have a tent. There you go. So there's no excuse. Come dressed, come ready to fellowship. The last time I was standing in my teeth, my jaw was so full and so pulled back. It was so much laughter. It was so much fun fellowshipping. You know, us women, we like to take our selfies, Lana. So I want to see you right there. Us see, or Lana to say she can, oh my God, if y'all only see how marvelous she looks, okay, yeah, modeling her selfie, yeah. So we're gonna be here, we're gonna be excited about getting our certificates and then everything else that pertains to the changeover, June 28th, 6:30 p.m. Lock the date right now, put it, pencil it in. And let's not forget Saturday coming is the tea party. So women, please come out. And I understand that it's not just for women, but men are invited to come and dine and have fun and just laugh the evening away. President Mike, over to you for remarks and announcements. He's muted it. Oh, he's muted. It looks like he's talking. Hi, Michael, you're muted.
No, I was just asking Sheila if the tea party is indoors because we may have some more rain coming in by weekend, remnants of Agatha.
Yeah, the tea party is indoor.
Anyway, that just about covers everything I had on there. One thing, we still have tickets available. Please contact Rotarian Darren with regards to the RCOB raffle. The raffle is scheduled for June 30th. So just hit Darren up, and we have more than enough books to accommodate all of our members. Thank you. Back over to you, Samita.
Thank you so much, President Mike. So let's just remember all of those dates that we're giving out. And then whatever our obligations are pertaining to donating or purchasing tickets. We would have noticed that on our Rotarian page, we had some beautiful women who traveled all the way to St. Martin. And the recent trip taken to the club 7020 in St. Martin, as I initially just stated, and based on those photos forwarded to the group, you could tell that what transpired embodied the true essence of Rotary around the world. The fun, the fellowship, the dress up, the dancing. We probably need to have a dance contest at the changeover to see which one of them danced, you know, the night away. But it was just amazing. I felt like I was there, and I said, hey, next time they're gonna host this conference, I'm gonna sure to be on board. The face of Rotary was Charlene Seeley. Yeah, you all saw her picture blasting on the page, that event that she just held. So we'll call them the face of Rotary. And of course, we had our very own secretary, Chantel. Yeah, beautiful Rotary Nassau Club of some beautiful women, yeah. And then also Felia Benaby was a part of that. Felia is now gonna open up her mic, and she is gonna talk about the experience and the memories that took place at the recent 7020 district conference held in St. Martin. Felia, open up your mic and talk us away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Samita. Yes, so as you stated, we did have a lot of fun, fellowship, and we were able to meet a lot of new faces. Also able to rekindle, you know, old friendships with persons that you haven't seen.
Felia, we need to, sorry, sweetheart, we need to see your face. If you are able to show your face. I just said you are the face of Rotary Nassau Club.
Yeah, we don't need to see a teeth.
My face right now, but yeah. So as you stated, we did have. Here I am. We did.
Thank you.
You look like sunshine.
Thank you, Samita. But yes, as you said, we had a lot of fun. It was definitely a memorable experience, something that I am looking forward to next year. The conference should be in St. Croix next year, so I'm looking forward to seeing everyone there. But this year in St. Martin, we had a lot of fun, fellowship, and dancing, as you stated earlier, but it was also a lot of information that we had to take in, you know, to prepare for this new upcoming year. But through it all, we made it. We were able to take much needed notes. We were able to enjoy much needed training, and also able to wrap it up with a night of fun every night. So it was definitely a team, no sleep type of trip, but it was one that went down in the books that we're looking forward to next year, and hope to see that everyone will be there. That is it.
Club crawling.
Thank you.
Yes,
All right,
some
thank you so much.
Okay, I was going to share some of the activities.
Oh, go ahead.
Club crawling, bar crawling. We did the sip and paint. We did a tour of St. Martin. We had the opening ceremony. That was also very fun and touching, you know, to see all the flags of all the different countries within the district. That was a very nice ceremony. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Another activity we would have done was, what's the other one? It was, yeah, I think that was it. It was a fun experience. So look forward to seeing everyone in St. Croix next year.
Any dates yet?
Oh gosh, For next year?
Yeah.
It's the first week in May. I don't know the exact dates, but the
Okay.
first week in May. Okay, so Felia, just to tag on to what you're doing, I actually brought the certificates that we won for you. I brought them for you, Michael. So we got Rotary Club of Nassau got a certificate of achievement from the district governor. We got a distinction award. We also got an award for silver award for Club of the Month. Basically, we made sure we entered each month, even though we never actually won Club of the Month, but we submitted every month, so we got a prize for that. We also got the bronze, which I don't have it printed, but we got the bronze for public image, meaning that we were actually doing a good job of promoting the club on all the different platforms. So thanks to you all who were here, you know, the different sites that you were posting on, it did pay off. And for Cat Island, they're not here, but hopefully some of them are logged on. They also got the Club of the Month Silver Award. They won Club of the Month 1 month as well. So I have that certificate here as well. And I guess the flag that we will kind of share, but I guess it'll be more in my year. We actually got, I don't know if this will show it. Yes, there you go. We actually have the banner already for next year. So this is the theme. Imagine Rotary is the theme for next year. So we have the banner already for that as well. So all those came back from St. Martin. And then the last thing that I have, our raffle today, for those of you who are here, we got rum samples. Some of it from the bar crawl, but you know, so we got some samples from St. Martin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So not enough to get drunk, but enough to get a buzz, okay? So that is our raffle prize for the day. So make sure you get your tickets, okay? Thank you. Back over to you, ma'am. Awesome sauce, awesome. The young people would say awesome sauce. So today I'm putting myself in the category of Jim, eh? That's right, of the Jim, right? Yeah. Yeah. Of awesome sauce. Now coming, this is the reason for those who are joining us by Zoom and you are not a part of this great club. This is the reason why you should become a part of the best club ever, the young people would say, in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And coming now to just bring us more up to date on our membership and activities surrounding that anniversary, Buddy Pop-Up. We welcome the great, we have another Devin in the house. Sorry, Wayne, it's not just you, but Tino McCartney.
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I look forward to that every week. Come on, give me some more claps. I just love it. Oh, I just love the claps. I just love it. Listen, that is the reason why you're part of Rotary, because we're family. There's nothing like coming here. I came down here, I sped down here. Thank God nobody was on the road because of the fact that I wanted to come and see my Rotary family. So it's good to see all of you. Give yourselves a round of applause just to be here today. And listen, did you realize that Samita was missing for the last couple of weeks? Did you realize that? I even called her to say how she was doing. So listen, it's good to have Samita back. And I don't know if she came back because she was the MC, but she came back because I was treating her for lunch today. Mr. President, I think that's the reason why she's here today.
I didn't even order anything yet.
When I called and found out how she was doing, the first thing she said, Kino, hey, save my lunch. So it's good to have Samita back. But listen, we're celebrating Charlene. Charlene is celebrating 6 years in Rotary. Come on, and today is the anniversary. Come on, let's give it up for Charlene. It's so good to have Charlene to be a part of Rotary. And I'm saying, as I was coming here, I heard, who was that? Who was also looking at joining Rotary? There were 2 persons who were on today. Shelby and who's the other person? Anita's guest. Well, Shelby and Anita's guest, I'm going to say to you. Deborah Thompson, I'm going to say to you, listen, quickly become a part of the Rotary family. We have lots to do. We have a lot of people to touch in terms of the community. But more importantly, we welcome you a part of the Rotary family. Thank you so much. And come on, let's enjoy the rest of our day. It's good to see you, my friend. All right.
Come on now, I'll call him the Reverend Kino McCartney. He doesn't let anything out the bag, but Kino, I'll probably have to take that lunch with me. I didn't order anything yet. Okay, so next week, Kino. Next week, well, we'll see. Okay, well, we're about to hear from a very dynamic young gentleman who is doing remarkable things throughout the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, you would have heard our president recently state that our theme for this afternoon is college preparedness. And I have a daughter, she's 18, who just recently went off to college university in January. So I was probing her mind, Mr. Butler, and she said, Mommy, please don't call my name. But you know how parents go when they get behind the mic, right? They just can't say any random person. So one of the key things that she said was to make sure that they maintain an organized schedule and plan and what they are going to do each day to stay ahead in regards to their assignment. And then another thing I think that's so pivotal and so potent that she said was, don't be scared. It might be hard at first, especially sometimes with making new friends, but the right people will come to you and you will begin to adjust to the new environment. So we are going to welcome now. I was on your LinkedIn page and I quoted some things that you said. I don't know if you were here when I initially did that, but one of the key things that stood out to me that you said was that your mindset makes 99% of the game. Turn your thoughts into feelings, feelings into actions. Use your why to keep going. So coming now to talk more about our guests, to do the introduction of our guest speakers, Rotary and Lana. Immediately thereafter, we will hear from Nathaniel Butler. Put your hands together for Lana.
Rotarian Samita, you're going to be my buddy forever. You bring sunshine. So today we are welcoming Nathaniel Butler, CFP CIT, financial planner, financial coach, tax consultant, venture capitalist, business development advisor. With 13 plus years experience in the financial services industry, in various capacities such as estate planner, insurance agent, investment advisor, I need you, corporate services administrator, and former tax officer, Mr. Butler has been able to enrich the financial health of individuals by providing results, direction, and hope. Mr. Butler is the founder of Drew Burr Solutions, a company whose mission is to becoming the leading financial literacy education firm and financial planning service provider in the Caribbean by facilitating financial health and life education to everyone in every walk of life and their loved ones. Currently, Mr. Butler is the Executive Director of Creative Wealth, Bahamas, and the former Business Development Advisor with the Small Business Development Center. He's worked with a multitude of government branches, organizations, churches, and corporate businesses alike. He's married to the lovely Ashley Butler, and they're proud parents of a handsome son named Andres Nathan Butler. During his time off, he loves to travel, exercise, celebrate life's milestones and accomplishments with his loving family. As Rotary celebrates Youth Services Month, join me in welcoming Mr. Nathaniel Butler to discuss college preparedness. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Actually, thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I'm very much appreciative to be here. I see so many familiar faces, believe it or not, and I feel like I'm at home. I really feel like I'm at home. I think the next step is for me to attend one or two of the meetings, and let's see what goes from there. I don't know, please forgive me, I don't think I have the right terminology yet. I think she was in the Rotaract and we got married and I don't know what happened. She was supposed to transition. I don't know if I was the cause, but I know this is where her heart lies. So I'm given the opportunity to speak to you about something that is dear to my heart. Believe it or not, just give me sharing all the capabilities. Yeah. I just want to share with you something that's dear to my heart. We're talking about college planning. Now, for me, I've spent the last, it said 13, but it's really more around the 16, 17 years dealing with financial planning. financial coaching, talking to individuals in the 8 areas of a healthy financial plan, which can be first, cash flow management, is budgeting, day-to-day budgeting. You know, that's one of those areas we kind of struggle with culturally. And then you go into investing and retirement and then insurance, estate planning, and then you go into taxation and lending. And then the area that is neglected the most, believe it or not, is the area of family planning. And when I say family planning, what has been my experience in the last 5 years is that when most persons approach college planning from the perspective of when the child is about to graduate from college, from high school, it is at that moment in that time, not saying every family in the country, but majority of families in the country, to try to discover how are we going to finance the college or the tertiary education of the individual. That's just the honest truth. Now, there are some persons who would have taken out some insurance products like endowments, and you have others who would have taken out educational savings plan. Places like well, I won't call no names, but but you know, there are some individuals out there who provide that service. And you find that good much of persons are prepared, but there is a large contingent of individuals who are not. And I'm hoping that by the end of this presentation, we all will have a full understanding what needs to happen. For those of you who have nephews and nieces, children, god kids, like children in the neighborhood, a part or somehow are connected to you, that we can now have the conversation with the guardians or the parents so that they could be best prepared for sending their child, their loved one off to school. So I want to first by highlighting I'm not alone. I have a wonderful team of ladies behind me. First, I want to recognize is Miss Bridget Francis, Miss Tanya McFall, Major, and then the only person whose face is not up there is Miss Shamala Pinder. This all-star team allows me the opportunity of sending over 200 plus Bahamians off to university every single year for the last 5 years. And you're going to see some of the names on the list of students who were able to graduate from a multitude of schools. We have in place, as it stands right now, over 150 universities that we have direct partnerships with. And then, in addition to that, we have another 70 that we have indirect partnerships with. The question is always asked of me and my team, how many scholarships do you have that is available for Bahamians every single year? Well, believe it or not, we all know that there's almost about approximately 5,000 students who graduate every year, like 5,000 plus. We have enough scholarships to go around to give every student about 2 scholarships, believe it or not. So it's not a matter of supply of the scholarships, it's a matter of qualifying for the scholarships. And so I want to kind of dive into that conversation. You'll be amazed and surprised at some of the conversations that we have with a lot of our colleagues here in the Bahamas. Now, one of the things I want to be very clear, we are not the scholarship guy or girls. We help with college planning. What is the difference? Well, the college planning is giving you advice. We're looking at the whole spectrum of this process. We need to guide you to select the right school at the right price with the right program for your child. Nobody knows your child better than you. And you know what your child can handle. I've seen circumstances and situations where we were able to raise full scholarships or part-time scholarships, and the parents said, no, I'm not sending my child to that school. All because of the community. There are certain schools you'll find that your children will bring to you and say, well, I want to go here. Well, that's a party school. And you know, if you send your child there, that 4.0, that 3.5, that dropped to more like 2 point something or maybe 1 point. I've had a case, not too many of them. I've had a case where a student, we were able to help get a scholarship, and then in their first year, they got a 1.2. And their second year, they drop out and the parent didn't know. And so this is the reality. This is the reality. Now, in this college plan, and like I said, it is a map. We're trying to find the best college fit with the limited resources. And the reality of it is we all have limited resources in regards to how we're going to finance this or how we're going to fund this. And more importantly, how they're going to be able to take care of themselves on the campus. I always crack the joke when we do PTA meetings, and I would say to them, when you get that call from a student that's off in college, and many of you who have sent children off to school, that's not a call to say, how you doing, mommy or daddy? That's a call to say, I need $700 by the end of next week. And you're trying to figure out, how am I going to find this money? That's just the reality of how much universities and college cost. Now, there are two important factors that I want to highlight to you that what determines the decision or the factors that go along in the college planning process. First one, grades. Believe it or not, we're able to help persons to get scholarships who have at minimum, and believe that this might sound a little strange, but at minimum of 2.5. A stretch, maybe 2.0. Now, of course, you know, there's not going to be a whole lot of scholarships for the persons who fall within that category, but there is a lot of scholarships available for anyone who's at the 3.0, the 3.5, heading up to above 4.0. Also, I want to make this very clear. We're starting to see some new trends. Trends in the sense of saying that more Bahamians today are going to Canada and other schools outside of the United States. A very growing population. However, I also want you to be mindful that Canada does not give the largest scholarships. The largest scholarships come from the United States of America. So, putting that in perspective, we talk about grades. The second thing, and this is the most important thing, is maturity level. You know your child. And so one of the things that we have within Druber is we focus heavily on making sure that that child is able to finish. Many people get excited because that child is able to go off to school, they graduate, et cetera, et cetera. But here's another side of the equation that most people don't really talk about. Many of the students who go off to school for the first year, many of their families are not able to pay the tuition. And they do everything in their power to keep that child away off the school because they're embarrassed. The challenge is you cannot switch that child from the school that they're at to another school until that tuition is paid off. That's the first problem. The second problem is they're going to need the transcript to whatever school you're transferring them to. The transcript will not be released until you also provide until you pay off the bill as well. So these are some of the challenges that we're faced with. I can't tell you how many persons that we're able to get scholarships, but they turn down, and I'm going to say this, people turn down scholarships. Believe it or not, we have more people turn down scholarships than who accept scholarships. We have persons who will turn down scholarships to go to schools, I would say, more symbolic of status, more symbolic of lineage and heritage. And you find there's nothing wrong with these schools. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with these schools. But when you have a full ride and your tuition is about $30,000 a year, and you have a full ride to a university where tuition is $30,000 a year plus room and board and the meal program, and you turn that down to go to an Ivy League school that could range anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 per semester, and your parents or yourself may not have the money, I mean, I'm just saying. And these are the challenges that we're faced with. So we talked about the maturity of students. I also want to say this too. One of the things that we're also noticing as a trend, many students today are deciding to go to colleges based on what their friends are saying. And you find that it's not a conversation of program and it's not a conversation of affordability, but it's more a conversation of my friends are going here, so I want to go here too. And then eventually, if the friends do well, then it works out. If the friends don't do well and they transfer to another school, now your child is stuck at a school that doesn't really even cater to them from a program standpoint and may not necessarily cater to your budget. So that's also something to take into consideration. Now, what do schools look for? They look for the cumulative GPA, SAT scores. Some schools accept our BGCSE examination, advanced placements. If you can put your child in the best position to get accepted to schools, allow them to do advanced placement. In addition to that, of course, the international GED program that is also available as well. Now, the third thing we have to look at is the family's financial position. I can't stress it enough. You have to look at how you're going to afford to pay for the college tuition. College tuitions are very, very, very expensive. They're very expensive, believe it or not. And so you're either going to pay it from a combination of one of four things. Either you're going to pay it from your savings, either you're going to pay it from some investments, either you're going to borrow as a last resort, or you're going to have to liquidate or refinance some of the assets that you currently have. These are the four options you're gonna have. And I find that when it comes down to the college planning process, we, not saying everyone, I'm not saying everyone, but we do need to take more concerted effort in ensuring that we put a necessary financial products or savings aside for that day when that child comes. Because when your child reaches the age of being able to go to college, in most cases, you're staring retirement in the eye. So it's a battle of dealing with retirement. It's a battle of even dealing with, in some cases, ailing parents at the same time. They're up there in their years, and their medical, if it's a medical crisis on their end, you, the child, their child that is, will have to take care of them. So you're sandwiched in a sense. You got to ailing, I would like to say mother, because women do outlive men here in the Bahamas. So you have an ailing mother you have to take care of. Then you have two kids you got to send off to school. And this is just the reality of what most people are faced with. And don't have a child who pick a school you can't afford on top of that, and don't have children behind that child in a private school. This is just what we see a lot. Now, when we look at the list of school and school choices, there are several things I want you to take into consideration. So we have from the local schools, we have from the international schools, we have smaller schools, medium-sized, larger schools, diverse schools, historically Black universities, we have religious and public. We have city and rural, and the biggest of all, and I have to say this, we have private and public. Now, for some strange reason, we have this notion that because of the education system here in the Bahamas, some people view the public schools a particular way and others view the private schools a particular way. And they take that same concept over to American, Canadian, UK universities and colleges in the sense of private is probably better than public, which is not the case at all. It is not the case at all. And I will go as far to say over here, it's not the case at all over here either. But the comments that we sometimes get is that we have persons who would have sent their child to a private school their entire life. And no way in the world they're going to be sending their child to a public university. And trust me, that's your rights. My only concern, and my team is concerned, affordability and the ability to finish. Can you afford it and can you finish? Because at the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. I can tell you for a fact what happens when those two questions cannot be answered up front. I'll give you an example. I wouldn't say if we had a situation, but there was a situation where a young lady was able to finish school. And she had owed a little bit on her tuition bill. So she was not able to receive her degree, her bachelor's degree, that is. Her mother was able to help her get a job and told her, now I've paid your school fee up until this point in time. Now that you're working, I think it's best for you to maybe take out a loan or do a payment plan with the school and pay off your bill so you can get your degree and can continue on with your life. The young lady tells the mother, and this is a true story, very, very much true. The young lady tells the mother, no, that's your bill. I gotta go get me a car.
Okay, all right.
I say that to say this. you got to be careful, and I'm very cautious in how I say this. You got to be very careful that you don't put such high expectation on your kids that at the end of the day, you send them to school, you fund their education with an expectation that they're going to take care of you after it's all said and done. Many of them, and I can tell you of countless experiences, many of them are at that stage where they're going to live their own life.
True.
You might get hit with, well, there's no jobs back home, so I'm not coming home with me on that. You might get hit with, oh, I'm getting married. And you're looking at them and say, well, hold on, that's not the plan. I got a couple of kids behind you. You're supposed to help me out with the others that are coming behind you. And so these are real conversations. And these are conversations that we're not, I believe, not having the dialogue publicly, so we know how to handle it when it's our turn. Now, when you factor going off to school or attending any university, there are several things you have to take into consideration. I would always tell parents that when your child is accepted to any school or they have their list of preferred schools, there's several things you need to look at. One, the location where the school is. Two, the size of the school. Three, the tuition for the school, room and board, books, and the traveling expense to get to the school. Believe it or not, in the pandemic, and I'm so grateful for Miss Bridget Francis, who's on our team. Believe it or not, in the pandemic, it was very difficult for us to get in and out of the country. That was just a reality. And many parents were worried because they had their children off to university and they didn't know what to expect or what or had any funds to help them in that process. I remember one particular school, and I'm sorry I didn't have it in our slides. I remember one particular school where we sent a few Bahamians to. We were able to negotiate with the school for the school to keep the students on the campus without any additional charge and allow them to have or access the meal program without any additional charge. Whilst many of the US residents were able to go back to their states or wherever they were from, our Bahamian students were able to stay on the compound. Those students were so excited, they took a picture of themselves. Now, in true Bahamian fashion, they took a picture of themselves jumping in the pool saying thank you.
Oh, wow, okay.
But like I said, the key thing is we got to look at costs. Now, what is available in regards to scholarships? So we have the full-time scholarship that covers all of those things with the exception of travel, what I would have mentioned. Okay, we have the grant, we have the fellowship, the work study, internship. And one thing I want to address as well with the internship, we should be open to the fact that our students work whilst they're on campus if they can. If they can. I know sometimes in the first year you want your child focused on school and doing well, and that's fine. But as time progresses, to eliminate the calls back home for them to ask for so much money, I would advise that you're able to allow them to work. One of the important things I need to highlight, if you've never been through this process, one of the impediments for sending children off to school is called a sponsor letter. In order for you to get a student visa, you have to provide this sponsor letter. Depending on what school you attend will determine how much money you have to provide in liquid account. What I mean liquid account meaning whether it's a savings or checking account. It could range anywhere from $10,000, 20, 30, 40, all the way up. And they are not going to give you that approval until you provide proof of the funds. And the whole purpose of that is that at the end of the day, you are able to pay the college tuition. My last few slides, and I'll just say this, here are some of the programs that we have special relationship with a number of universities where they're offering full rides. And if you see on the board there, if you know someone, a student who's interested in any one of these areas, please contact me. Moving right along, I mentioned in the last 5 years of over 200 students graduated. Now, some of them would have been prior to the partnership, but many of them have been after the partnership. And you can see a few of the names and the programs and the schools that they would have attended. We have a number of students, to believe it or not. And the ones that do not have universities on the side of them are students who are still off to school or are in graduate school. Last but not least, in order to prepare your child to score high and get the full tuitions, I would recommend SAT preparation classes. There are a number of universities or schools here that offer it. We do as well. And also the international GED. I want to say that for the students who may have not done well in school, may have left school with a leaving certificate, there's still hope to get that student off the school. And last but not least, I know I mentioned students a lot, mostly referring to persons who are, I guess, under the age of 20 or 21. But the reality of it is we can help anyone, regardless of their age, go off to school. The oldest participant that we've ever helped was 65.
Okay, nice.
She sent her grandkids off and then she turned around and wanted to get a degree for herself. We sent her to a university in Canada and she's now completed.
Awesome.
So we're not limited to just students. We're not limited to just youth or students, but anyone who is willing and is open to travel. And like I said, last but not least, we have partnerships in the US, the UK, and also Canada. We have a number of scholarships, but like I said, the greatest challenge we have is students being able to qualify. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate all of you. If there are any questions at this time, if there's no questions, then I will turn it back over to the moderator.
Thank you so much, Mr. Butler, for the wealth of knowledge that you just imparted. I'm sure that we gleaned and definitely took notes and will use wisdom because wisdom is the principal thing. And if you don't walk in wisdom, then you're walking like a fool. One thing that stood out to me was affordability and the ability to finish. And that is key and important that we remember that those who are navigating either to go off or who want to send your child or somebody that you may be a guardian for away, and to look at the location, the size, tuition, travel expense, in order to get to the school of choice. So we are so grateful. We are so grateful. We're going to make sure that your contact is dropped in the chat for persons that would want to ask any relevant questions. I know that my niece is a recipient of their program. She's dealt with Bridget and some other youths who I empower, they have been recipients, so it is a good program. So if you have, I don't know if we have any questions in the chat, but if you do, we're short on time, please. And then definitely there's the parking lot. I hope Mr. Butler have about a few minutes behind, chill and gel and just every questions has to be shoot out. So we're gonna call Rotarian Gabrielle, who will do the 4-way test. And then thanks to the speaker, we have Rotarian Lana. Lana, I'm still in your good books, right? You may use the ray of sunshine all the way from here. Immediately following Rotarian Lana will be Rotarian Gabrielle, who will do our 4-way test, and then the toast around the world. And coming after that will be President Michael to adjourn, and of course our parking lot session. Let's follow in accordance. Oh, the raffle, Wayne, is he gonna do that after the thanks? Okay, Wayne, you got that? Okay, awesome.
Thanks. Thank you, Mr. Butler. I really appreciate it because those people with young children, I'm happy I'm finished. Finished. And she's okay. But I like that 62-year-old, so I may come to see you.
Yes.
You never finish with education until you die.
That's right.
So we thank you, and I'm sure those with children or nieces, nephews, neighbors will be able to give your contact to people. And I cannot believe you have all those scholarships. People just don't know. They don't know. So I'll be happy to share your information with some of my friends and family. Thank you for coming to Rotary.
Yes, thank you. third way. She said, thank you for coming, but I feel in my spirit that he's gonna become a Rotarian.
Yes.
What you say about it?
Hooray,
I feel it.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. Thank you again. For the butler. Rotarian Owen, are we ready for our raffle?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. You can bring it up. I see you have a lot of money there, so it means that we have a great participation. Great participation.
It's a great gift.
Great gift. Great gift. Charlene just walked in, so she's gonna give all, she's gonna make the presentation.
My buddy,
And again, this is one of the events
my buddy.
of Rotary that you get to miss if you do by Zoom. You get to miss our interaction and our raffle. But isn't it a pleasant surprise, Sheila, Vice President Sheila, to see so many Rotarians out today? in person? Let's keep the applicated. And we are breaking records here. This is the most we've had for a little while. This is excellent. And I'm quite sure next week there's going to even be a bumper crop. You're going to just have a stampede to try and get here because there will be sufficient chairs and tables. And Sheila is smiling because she loves that.
Yes, Sheila.
Okay. Rotarian. Yes, good. We're gonna ask our guest speaker to select the winning ticket. And we cannot let Larry win again today.
Larry, why call you
Larry
chair?
been winning back to back to back.
Why did I call you chair?
Okay. And here's the ticket. Let me know if you have these numbers. 0, 1, 8, 5. Anyone get that?
Yeah, so far so good.
So good. And then add on to that 5, 7. Does anyone have 7?
Yes.
If you have 7, you're still in the race. Let me hear an amen. Yeah. And then our last number to win this exotic prize is none other than number 5.
Who got it? I got it, but you can raffle it again. I mean, it's my prize.
Okay. We're gonna raffle it again. Shake it again.
Shake it up. Go to the
Angela
oldest person in the
offered-
house. Who's that?
Give that back up.
Mix it up, Joan. Mix it up. Shake it up. Queen Joan. Joan.
Okay, let's try it again.
All right, let's see.
The winning number is 0, 1, 8, 5. We all still here?
Have you laughed?
The next number is 7. Are we all still here? And the last lucky number, number 9.
Who's that?
You wouldn't believe it.
Larry, that's you.
He gotta take it out of me. I gotta sit next to Larry.
Lord.
3 weeks.
Larry, Past President Larry. Let's give a round of applause. Larry got some lucky spell, and he got the number. He has the number. Larry has won 3 consecutive times. 3 consecutive times. I think Larry deserves a special award. We got to give Larry a special award.
Larry should be in the photo too.
I can't believe this.
I tell you, 3 times in a row. 3 times in a row. That's good blessings. Good, Larry. That's good.
All right, one more.
What's up?
Madam
Jim.
There's a running joke as Gabrielle comes that we need to sit next to Larry. That's 2 times, and it's 3 times. I don't know what you say. They say after you attend Rotary 3 times, you're in, but he's in, so we got to figure out what we're gonna do about this 3rd win. Come on now, just Lord.
Good afternoon, everyone. I mean, Rotarian Larry, I don't understand it. And I had 7, but I had 1. Unbelievable. Okay, so we'll now do the toast.
Yeah.
Oh, four-way test.
Four-way test,
sorry.
then the toast.
Four-way test. Bring up.
Everybody please stand.
All right. You have it?
Please join me in.
Yes. Yes. Please join me in the four-way test.
Of the things we think, say, or do.
Of the things we think, say, or do.
So do.
Is it true?
True.
Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And lastly, will it be fun?
Will it be fun?
All right. And now the Rotary toast to Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
Around the world. All right, and thank you all so much for coming. President Michael had to leave the meeting early, but thank you so much. Lovely to see all these wonderful faces in person. Look forward to seeing double this amount next week, right? Awesome, awesome. So thank you again. Thank you so much for the information that we got from our speaker. And of course, like I said, we have the parking lot if you do have some questions that you would like to ask of our speaker. Thank you. All right, the MC is requesting a group photo, please, before you all disappear.
Let's quickly get one.
Welcome, Brother Fatma.
That's right. Come right here.
The one on the end is the one that looks like it's fine.
Everybody in? I wouldn't ask for this.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, then take the photo and then, then you'll swap out. Yeah. Hold on, Wayne, you in the photo? Oh, Lord. Okay. Make sure you get my good practice. Yeah.
Make sure everyone gets the okay, let's try this again. Rotary around the world.
Rotary around the world.
And it's fun.
That's okay. You will be in one of those. Okay.
You broke it.
That's lunch and home.
You see that?
But you want to. That is the
What was that? Excellent.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I guess there were any questions. I'm guessing there were any questions. I didn't hear any questions from our Zoom team. All right, well, that we will be ending the meeting now then. Take care, everyone. Yes.